In today's world, there's a growing narrative that marriage is a financial trap for men. The fear of divorce, alimony, child support, and the financial ruin that supposedly follows is enough to make many question the value of commitment. So, what's the alternative? Many suggest multi-partner setups, rotational relationships, and co-parenting across different households as the way to go. Sounds like the perfect solution, right? Multiple partners, no commitment, endless freedom. But what if I told you these alternatives are actually more chaotic, expensive, and time-consuming than the very thing they're trying to avoid? Let's break down why these so-called solutions might not be the ticket to freedom you think they are. At the heart of the red pill philosophy is a deep-seated fear of marriage. Marriage is painted as a lose-lose scenario for men. Loss of freedom, financial devastation, and emotional manipulation. The idea is that avoiding marriage means avoiding the risks of divorce. But it's not as simple as that. The fear of commitment stems from psychological pressures, societal influences, and media portrayals that glorify unattached independence. Many men see marriage as the end of their autonomy, a move that ties them down emotionally and financially. The narrative suggests that avoiding marriage keeps a man in control, preserving his freedom and wealth. But when you dig deeper, the alternatives often lead to far more complications. Let's first look at the illusion of control in these multi-partner setups. The idea of juggling multiple relationships may seem empowering, being the alpha male, with several women vying for your attention. But the reality is, you're not really in control at all. You're essentially playing the role of a financial provider and emotional support system for multiple people. These relationships quickly become transactional, where everything revolves around what you can provide. Instead of emotional connection, it's about constant gifts, trips, and maintaining the appearance of a fulfilling relationship. You might think you're avoiding gold diggers by staying away from marriage, but you're actually creating an environment where they thrive. Now, let's talk about the financial burden of managing multiple households. Think managing one home is tough? Try managing several. Instead of one mortgage or rent payment, you're looking at 2, 3, or more. With each partner, you have separate utilities, grocery bills, and maintenance costs. As the number of households grows, so do your financial obligations. And to keep things running smoothly, you'll need to hire staff, nannies, assistants, handymen, and more. Every dollar you earn seems to disappear faster than it arrives. These are recurring expenses that don't go away. They grow with every new partner or child you add into the mix. Then, there's the time and emotional energy you're giving away. In a multi-partner setup, each woman expects your time and attention, but there's no deep commitment. You're juggling multiple relationships, each demanding your emotional support and investment. In addition to the physical gifts and trips, you'll spend hours listening to problems, providing solutions, and trying to keep everyone happy. It's exhausting. You're constantly working to maintain the illusion of emotional connection. But because of the lack of commitment, those connections rarely last. The end result? Emotional burnout, leaving you drained and unfulfilled, despite all the money and time you're pouring into these relationships. Now, let's take a closer look at the children. Raising a child is expensive, but raising children in multiple households multiplies those costs exponentially. In a traditional marriage, child support is usually a one-time payment, with clear financial obligations set out in the divorce settlement. But in a multi-partner setup, you may find yourself responsible for multiple child support payments, and even if you don't have legal obligations, each child still carries its own financial load: education, healthcare, extracurricular activities, and more. Coordinating between households for things like birthdays, holidays, and school events only adds to the logistical and financial burden. The emotional toll on the children can't be ignored either. Growing up in fragmented homes can lead to emotional insecurity, a lack of stability, and feelings of neglect. They might not have the support they need to thrive. So why does this multi-partner fantasy persist? For many men, it's about the illusion of control and dominance. Managing multiple relationships may seem like a sign of power, but the reality is much messier. The ego boost of having multiple women vying for your attention might feel good at first, but over time, it loses its appeal. These setups rarely provide the lasting emotional fulfillment or stability that a committed relationship offers. What you're left with is the illusion of control and a lot of chaos, financial strain, and emotional exhaustion. When you compare this setup to the stability of a monogamous relationship, the differences are clear. Marriage, when approached with the right mindset, offers several advantages. One home, one mortgage, and shared bills make managing finances significantly more efficient. Emotional depth and loyalty foster stability, and raising children in a single, committed household provides consistency and security. When both parents share responsibilities, both emotionally and financially, it creates a foundation for growth and success. A prenup can also help mitigate financial risks, ensuring that both partners are protected in the case of a divorce. On the other hand, multi-partner setups come with a long list of costs and complications. From managing multiple households to coordinating parenting schedules and dealing with differing parenting styles, the logistics can become a full-time job. Financially, you're paying for separate homes, childcare, and other expenses that could be consolidated in a monogamous relationship. The emotional strain of juggling multiple relationships often leads to burnout. And without the stability of a committed partnership, relationships can become transactional and unsatisfying. The key takeaway here is that the fantasy of multiple partners, freedom, and no commitment often ends in financial chaos, emotional exhaustion, and fractured family dynamics. A strong, stable relationship built on shared goals, resources, and emotional depth is the smarter, more sustainable choice. Marriage, when done thoughtfully with the right legal protections in place, provides emotional stability, financial efficiency, and a secure environment for raising children. Instead of chasing fantasies of freedom through multiple partners, focus on building a meaningful connection with one person, and you'll create a much more fulfilling and practical life in the long run. So what's it going to be? Will you continue to chase the illusion of freedom, or will you build something real, stable, and sustainable with one partner? The choice is yours.